Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to participate in this group presentation. My name is Feng Jiajun. I'm the first member, and my group members are Huang Shan, Feng Shengyu, Chen Shuang, and Huang Xilin. Our presentation will focus on the ethical dilemma faced by self and analyze the leadership styles of self-CEO and analyze the impacts of self-ethical dilemma and how to solve the problem, and finally conclude with recommendations. Next page. Let me introduce the background. Royal Dutch Shell is an integrated energy company founded in 1807 by Marco Seminar and headquartered in The Hague, the Netherlands. From its early days as a London article store, Shell now operates the world's most innovative energy company, ranked 80 in the Fortune 500 in 2021. The company focuses on upstream activity such as the exploration of new oils and gas resources and the development of large-scale projects. It currently operates in more than 70 countries, employs about 82,000 people, and has revenues of 180 billion in 2022. Next page. I will talk about the current CEO. Ben Verden is a successful Dutch businessman who has held a number of key positions at Shell, which pays around 20 million a year. He has set out the company's goal to reduce its carbon emissions by 35% by 2030 to the benefits of socials as a whole. Next page. We all understand the concept of ethical dilemma. It means that when one is forced to choose between two options that contradict basic moral principles, we can only do one of two things, and those get into a moral dilemma. So we need to know how to resolve the dilemma. Self-ethical dilemma is hidden by either the extraction of large quantity of oils from financial gain or the rational exploitation of resources to protect the environment and compensations for oil spill. This is a key in point. In 1970, Royal Dutch Shell exported oils in Nigeria for profit, leading to a pipeline spill in the region, which caused significant damage to the health of the local population and the environment from excessive environmental toxins. After 50 years of legal battles, Shell led by CEO Ben Verden compromised in 2021 and paid compensations for the spill, but the company refused to admit fraud and argued that a third party had caused the spill. So, should the company have exploited the area too much? Should the company be held responsible for the oil spill in Nigeria and compensate with money? This is something to think about. It's time to Huang Shan, please.
Thanks for judging Feng's presentation. My name is Shan Huang. I'm very delighted to be here today. My part is about two types of leadership. Let's start with the transformational leadership. Transformational leadership is a leadership style that inspires positive change in followers. Transformational leaders are often energetic and passionate. These leaders are not only concerned and involved in the process, they also focus on helping every member of the team succeed. The next one is transactional leadership. Transactional leadership focuses on the role of oversight, organization, and team performance. Leaders who implement this style focus on specific tasks and use rewards and punishments to motivate followers. The next part of my presentation is about Van Boden's leadership. Officially, he prefers to lead from the front rather than the back. He has good eloquence and strong emotion. His enthusiasm makes employees proud of working for Shell. Due to the obstruction of oil exploration and production in Nigeria, Shell has some problems in crude oil supply. At the same time, in the discussion with the local government and the local residents, the government led by Van Boden actively participated in the discussion and hoped to change Shell's supply chain in the future. Van believes that the energy transformation to a low-carbon future is a long-term challenge for Shell. Under the advocate of the leadership led by the company encourages all employees to perform well, create a flexible working environment, and begins to provide performance-based rewards to employees. Therefore, he successfully obtained effective business performance from employees and established effective relationships with them. Under his leadership, Ben has established effective teamwork and a strong relationship with his employees. The next part of my presentation is about Van Boden's weakness in his leadership. Data shows that Shell's share price has fallen by 3% recently, which may be related to the poor team decision-making and performance of the current leadership. In terms of personal leadership, the Dutchman is still little known outside the group. In view of the current situation of the group, he must quickly convince investors to obtain more investment, improve the group's supply chain, and make the company more flexible. The current poor performance of Shell reflects the poor development of Ben's leadership. In a previous interview, Ben said that petroleum products may remain prominent in 2030. He believes that within 14 years, Shell will be more involved in renewable energy, but this does not mean more investment. The current difficulties engaged by Shell can be seen that Ben's vision for the future cannot meet the current situation. His leadership hinders creativity and reflects his lack of long-term vision. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Let's welcome the next one, Shen Yufeng. Thank you.
Thanks, Xiaohong. My name is Shen Yufeng, and I will talk about Ben trade leadership and rationale for approach. Ben trade leadership in Shell plc. Ben shows a number of leadership traits in the way he leads the company. The main traits observed is his ability to delegate, communicate, and integrity. Ben's ability to delegate is seen when he says that half of Shell's energy mix should be clean the next decade. He continues to state that if the process is not achieved, then the company would be failed. Ben also leads the company in being ambitious. The goal of the company is to become a net zero emissions energy by the middle of current century. Ben states that the government is playing with prevalent idea that wrong, clear and simple, which is banning the production of oil and gas in the country. Integrity is seen here by how Ben fights for the truth that the government is not giving to the people. He criticized the President of the United States Police on banning the drill on federal land. Ben is Ben is always making sure he has a good communication with employees, shareholders, and the public regarding issues happening in the company. He states that the reason he is at financial results conference is to explain the background story, which enabled the 71% fall in quarterly earnings and a profit warning 2 weeks ago. Shell Company composited the oil spills in Nigeria in 1970. Though the company maintained that it was caused by the third party in the war, Ben then goes to visit Nigeria, aiming to clean up the oil spills. He stated that he is resolute to make effort in compositing Nigeria after further criticism over the spills in Ogoniland. Ben employed the local in the villages, hence creating local employment in assortment of places. This shows his great leadership trait in leading. Through his encouraged teamwork by the people as they came together to clean. Ben Vanderden states that the main cause of the oil spill is sabotage, together with oil feed. The company insists that it was not fully responsible for the incident. Ben demonstrated his integrated leadership trait when even though they are fully responsible. The company promised to make responsibility for both the spills in Bordeaux, 2008. Ben states that it will fairly compensate everyone that was effort as soon as possible and clean up places the oil spills including Bordeaux parts. Rationale for approach. Ben Vanderden integrated good communication and ability to delegate leadership traits are very important for growth of the company. Ben's ability to delegate traits assists to reinforce Shell as the leading company of unveiling oil, low-carbon energy products, oil and services as the world's energy system transforms. CEO Ben Vanderden has maintained the good image of the company by the way he handled the Nigeria oil spills. His adaptation to the integrity as a trade leadership is the reason he was able to overcome the Nigeria oil spills crisis. The company did not have major negative consequences due to the Nigeria oil spill. That's all, and let's welcome my teammate Shang Chen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to talk about a current ethical dilemma encountered by Shell Global. What has been reflected in this ethical dilemma is to what extent Shell Global showed balance, its economic purpose and ethical consideration towards stakeholders, especially local communities. If the option 1 is adopted, which means the company chose to compensate for its unethical conduct, its economic profit will decrease in the short run. Moreover, lots of work is required to be done to facilitate compensation, such as rearranging surrounding communities, residential areas, reallocating employees to help deal with compensation issue, and so on. Despite this, there are also positive impacts brought about by adopting option 1. In particular, work-related health and security risk can be reduced significantly. Local Nigerian communities can be benefited. The general public can gradually hold a positive attitude towards the company. So then the company brand image will be responsive to positive. On the contrary, if the company chose not to compensate for unethical conducting, it may restore economic benefit gained for Nigeria and other less developed countries and sheltering. In particular, its sales revenues may continuously rise. Nonetheless, this will not last for long, as the public would lose confidence to company. The public may feel one day what the company would perform some unethical behavior towards the society again. Therefore, in the long run, the company brand image would be deteriorated. In the solution, the company should actively engage in the negotiation activities with those victims and the Nigerian government. For example, when one built the CEO of company adopted both the authoritative and democratic leadership on the one hand, his authoritative leadership style is derived from the fact he encourages our employees to focus on the future instead of looking backward. On the other hand, regarding his democratic leadership, it manifests from the facts and participates varying kind of the company's public activities. Both leadership styles driven to foster ethical cooperative culture within the company and reflect on the unethical conducts gradually. When one burden would guide the company to standardize the codes of the ethical conduct from the company staff, suppliers, and other stakeholders, but also make public speech to inform the public of how the company is make it in the endeavor to achieve a sustainable future for the worldwide population. The company with the standards of the EU's gratitude. He also guides the company to develop a new ambitions of the becoming a company that engaged in net zero emissions energy business by the end of 2015. All this practice would definitely help the company's regain public confidence towards the company's brand reputation. This is end my presentation. Any question? Okay, welcome to next group member Huang Xiling.
Thank you for Sean Chen. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to have the opportunity to give you a summary of our group's presentation and some recommendation on current situation and Shell CEO Warburton's leadership. Let me begin by summarizing today's group presentation. As the 1970s, oil spill in Nigeria led to the ethical dilemma Shell faces today. It stems out in terms of extracting oil for profit regardless of the natural environment, or extracting oil rationally and compensating communities that have been damaged by oil spills. Warburton's leadership style, lead from the front, not the back, says not only is he a highly ethical CEO, but he has empathy and the desire to make the world a better place to live. But at the same time, his leadership decisions have to take into account the interests of Shell. If he chooses option 1, the company's financial income will be affected in the short term due to huge compensation. But the reputation of the company's brand will be also grow. If he chooses option 2, the companies can always obtain sustainable revenue growth. But in the long run, the company's brand image will make people hate the company because it destroys the Earth's environment. This has become a difficult moral dilemma. Next, I will make some suggestions on how to remedy the current situation. Number 1, actively undertake oil cleanup in oil spill areas. Publishing a report that provides the public with more details on cleanup operation, holding the cleanup, when it was done, and how the cleanup was progressing. Number 2, build infrastructure in Nigeria local oil-related areas to ensure the safety of oil extraction and protect the natural environment of the local community. The purpose of this is to prevent similar accidents from happening again in the future. Number 3, strengthen oil development safety education for frontline oil exploration personnel. Only by avoiding the negligence of human factors and strengthening the safety management can oil be extracted more effectively and safely. Finally, I have some suggestions for Wimbledon's leadership style strategy. Number 1, be more transformational rather than transitional. He needs to interact with his employees, motivate them with his passion for their work, not just reward or punish them based solely on performance, and make employees feel like they belong in the company. Number 2, the brand image is greater than current interests, while taking into account the current interests of the company. It's also necessary to focus on the brand image with more long-term impacts. Number 3, actively undertake corporate social responsibility. As an upstream oil company, Shell will encounter some incident similar to the Nigerian incident in the exploration of local oil. Wimbledon needs to be more inclined to maintain the company's brand reputation, deal with problems proactively, and take responsibility, which can make public more confident in the brand. Number 4, he needs to be more creative. Oil resources are still limited resources in the end. If Shell can maintain sustainable profit growth in the future, it needs to focus on the development of more renewable energy and create a low-carbon and environmentally friendly brand image. This is the end of our group presentation. Thank you for your listening.